वेलकम टू पाकिस्तान एंड काउंटिंग के एनर्जी इंटरव्यू सीरीज में जहां हम डिफरेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स और एक्सपर्ट से सीखेंगे पाकिस्तान के करंट एनर्जी चैलेंजेस के हवाले से। आज के एपिसोड में हमारे साथ शहजाद अशफाक हैं जो करंटली मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं जूनिपर कैपिटल पार्टनर्स के। शहजाद का एक्सटेंसिव एक्सपीरियंस है माइनिंग सेक्टर, गवर्नमेंट और प्राइवेट कंपनीज को एडवाइस करने में। आज हम उनसे पाकिस्तान के माइनिंग सेक्टर के बारे में जानेंगे। माइनिंग पावर सेक्टर के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों है, पाकिस्तान में माइनिंग किधर किधर हो रही है, कौन से मेजर ग्लोबल और लोकल प्लेयर्स इन्वॉल्व हैं माइनिंग में, लास्टली पाकिस्तान में माइनिंग में क्या चैलेंजेस इन्वॉल्व हैं।
My name is Shahzad Ashfaq. I am part of a company called Juniper Capital Partners. Juniper was set up around 12 years ago. We have offices in London, Singapore, Dubai, and Karachi. We focus on what's called the NRG sector, which is Natural Resource Group, that covers oil and gas, metals and mining, energy, renewables, and infrastructure linked to that. Most of the business has nothing to do with Pakistan. It's international. We are I think Canada, Australia, and Africa are the three sort of key jurisdictions. But obviously, we're trying to get some foothold and a bit more presence in Pakistan as well. So we have taken on clients in Pakistan and been involved in the development of some of these sectors in Pakistan as well. So that's the background. We cover both strategics and financials. And the business includes M&A advisory, capital raising, structuring, and some execution work, but we're not really operational. It's more financial and strategy. Mining sector is really at a very, very nascent stage, right? So you have multiple small mines. Mining started in Pakistan a while ago. You have chrome, which has been going on for a while. You have Siandak, which came 20 odd years ago, but there's never been really large scale mining taking place. So the development of Rico Deek, which is RDMC company, which is 50% owned by Barrick and 50% owned between the government of Balochistan and the state-owned enterprises, that will be the first really large scale mine, and it will put Pakistan on the map of mining. It's in the Chagi district, and I think God willing, it will be a fantastic project for Pakistan. Is very significant. It will be to start off with a 45 million tons per annum production facility going up to 90 million tons. So it's a globally significant size, and the entire region, I think, holds great promise. So I think as long as this project is successful and it does well and it's set up, I think you will attract more people in the mining area in Pakistan. And this is, again, I'm saying, is the large Chagi district. The small scale mining continues to happen. Apart from this, there's at least one or two other projects which are also moving into execution mode. Seadik being the other one, which is much smaller than Rico Deek, but that will be the next, that's being developed by the Chinese. So these two projects are sort of in the development stage already, and I'm sure many more will come. देखिए, साउथ में आपको बलूचिस्तान साइड पे सॉल्ट का बहुत प्रोस्पेक्ट है. इट्स नॉट अ मेटल, बट इट इज सॉल्ट माइनिंग. यू कैन डू दैट बिकॉज द कोस्ट इज क्ले फॉर्मेशंस है, सो इट्स कंड्यूसिव टू सॉल्ट माइनिंग, salt processing rather than mining. Sindh में we haven't seen that much in southern. आप कराची के तरफ देखें ना, कोई ज़्यादा खास माइनिंग है नहीं. सीमेंट के लिए क्वारीज हैं, लाइमस्टोन क्वारीज हैं. फिर थोड़ा हेवी सैंड्स मिल जाती हैं. हेवी सैंड्स में यू कैन गेट टाइटेनियम, ज़र्कोनियम, उसके प्रोस्पेक्ट्स हैं. And then as you keep going into Punjab, you see more stuff there. You've seen potential potassium, phosphate and potash assets. And then really still once you hit Balochistan and KPK and GB that you see all the other metals. Then you see copper, gold, zinc, lead, वो सारे आते हैं. Lasbela maybe hai. So I guess that's the most south that we see. Lasbela probably has more of a mix, but the real large bodies of deposits which we've seen, other than chrome, which you see in Muslim Bagh, but as you go further up, then you see more metals. आई थिंक की लिमिटेशन इज अभी तक इतना कैपिटल गया नहीं है इंटरनेशनल जिनके पास एक्सपर्टीज है उतने लोग आए नहीं है मुल्क के अंदर. देखिए ये तो इकोसिस्टम डेवलप नहीं हुआ है. एक दफ़ा इकोसिस्टम डेवलप हुए फिर प्रोग्रेशन ज़्यादा तेज़ होती है. बट इनिशियली फर्स्ट माइन जो बड़ी माइन हो इसको डेवलप करना आसान नहीं होता है. स्पेशली ये देखें रिको दीक जितनी साइज है उसमें 8, 7, 8, 10 हज़ार लोग होंगे. वो आप रिसोर्सेज कहाँ लाएंगे? ट्रेन लेबर है कहाँ आपके पास? डोमेस्टिकली तो इतना ट्रेंड हुआ नहीं है ना, क्योंकि इस स्केल की माइन हुई नहीं है. प्रोसेसिंग इंजीनियर्स नहीं है आपका मेट्रो का इक्विपमेंट है, चलाएगा कौन? आपकी कुमाट्सू या कैटरपिलर की 400 टन की ट्रक्स हैं, वो चलाएगा कौन? सो ये सारी ट्रेनिंग और डेवलपमेंट इसमें टाइम लगता है. एक दफ़ा ये डेवलपमेंट होए फिर वो स्किल सेट्स आ जाते हैं, एक्सप्लोरेट और ज़्यादा इकोसिस्टम डेवलप होता है. उसके थ्रू फिर माइनिंग में डेवलपमेंट अच्छी हो जाती है. Focus globally of players currently is copper gold. That's where they are focused on, because there's a big energy transition. If you follow the global macro trends, there's a huge energy transition happening, because there is this desire by lots of think tanks and all that we should move to a phase where you are decarbonizing the economy, where you are shifting your reliance on oil and gas, and that can't happen unless all the supporting stuff happens, right? So to move to electrification of cars you need copper, but you're just not being able to increase copper production globally at a pace which can match your decarbonization efforts. So because of that you've got a real increase in exploratory spending for finding copper, and that's where I think Pakistan will benefit from the spend coming into copper. So copper gold seem to be, and gold is a sort of a multiple purpose metal. It's a precious metal and it's seen as in different roles. So currently with the prices of gold where they are, there's a lot of demand to find gold deposits as well. Obviously, Barrick becomes a key player. Barrick is the joint venture partner on RDMC, and they're the second largest gold producer in the world after Newmont. And they are very well respected firm. So it's wonderful to have them, come into the development of the mining sector in Pakistan. And they have a wonderful approach to mining where they believe in doing it in partnership with the locals, with the local investors. So it's a 50-50 JV given the philosophy, and it's a very good philosophy for us as well, because they want the whole country to benefit, not just Barrick. And that's been one of the hallmarks of their CEO, that he believes that this cannot be just all about Barrick. It has to be how cohesively you can work with the country to bring mines into development. So they are obviously the key player. Then you've got MCC, Metallurgical Corporation of China. They have two projects, Siadik and Siandak. They're a very major player, and Siadik will likely be the next mine after RDMC. In the local area, look, right now it's the state-owned enterprises. You've got, Balochistan have set up their own companies, BMRL, Balochistan Mineral Resources Limited, BMEC. So they do have locals, but they will work in partnership. So I think probably Mari Petroleum is the most active. They are the ones who are technically very strong. They have the skills technically to evaluated, and they're spending a lot of capital to try and get the studies done and find the opportunities. So they are quite active. Then you've got a couple of Middle East investors who've looked very closely at this, both from Saudi and UAE. I think we're going to potentially, we don't know as yet, nothing is signed, but potentially see interest. And I won't go into names if that's okay right now, because I think you'll hopefully hear news of them coming in the next few months. But you're going to see some of those come into that. And amongst the local groups, look, there are 3 or 4 very large local groups amongst the sort of in the top 5 or 6 local groups in Pakistan. You've got at least 3 or 4 of them looking at mining where they want to come in, which is very encouraging, because there has to be local development. That's how globally investors have confidence in a country, when the locals are investing there, and they're good partners. So whether it's one company was set up already, which was NRL, which is funded by the Yunus Brother Group or the Lucky Group out of Pakistan, the Liberty Group, and also Fatma Group. So the 3 of them have invested together in that company, NRL. But even individually, separately, some of the other large groups, potentially even some of these groups, will look at additional investment in mining in Pakistan, which again, we believe is a very important step. सबसे की डेवलपमेंट आरडीएमसी है. जब आरडीएमसी डेवलप होएगा, इससे प्रोडक्शन निकलेगी. आई थिंक ग्लोबल प्लेयर्स को भी ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस होगी कि पाकिस्तान एज ए जूरिसडिक्शन में माइनिंग हो सकती है, माइन डेवलप्स हो सकता है पाकिस्तान में. आई थिंक अगर ये रिकोदिक इंशाल्लाह हो जाए सही से और इसकी डेवलपमेंट अच्छी हो जाए, बहुत फॉलो ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा. और सिर्फ बलूचिस्तान में नहीं, रिकोदिक तो बलूचिस्तान में पूरी चागी बेल्ट, बट इवन उसके अलावा केपीके में, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में, उधर भी काफ़ी माइनिंग के प्रोस्पेक्ट्स हैं. छोटे हैं थोड़े, लार्ज डेवलपमेंट्स जिस स्केल की आपने बलूचिस्तान में देखी हैं, अभी तक वो नहीं देखी हैं मुल्क में कहीं और, बट हो सकता है. वो इतनी स्टडीज़ हुई नहीं अभी उसको अंडरस्टैंड. ये बहुत डेटा ड्रिवन इंडस्ट्री है, तो वो स्टडीज़ होती हैं, डेटा आता है, फिर ही समझ आता है.